And I'm super excited right now because on the other line here in the Zoom interview, I have Simon Grossman, a Venezuelan-American here in Miami. And he just released a brand new album, which is a wonderful, wonderful gem. It's called Bahia Margarita, and it's full of wonderful sounds. It's a little bit different from what his previous release was, but it is still a solid record. Simon, how are you doing today, and where are you connecting from?
Hey Byron, I'm connecting from Miami and I'm doing very good. I'm very excited to be on the show, very excited to talk about the album and I'm just very excited about the release of the album in general. So
Yeah,
I'm happy to be here.
congratulations. I it is a nonstop listening party for me. That's why I got the tropical feel here. But
Yeah, I
that
see it.
is
I see it.
congratulations. And like I was saying, it is a little bit sonically different from what we're used to, but it is still Simon Grossman behind everything.
I think the the key for that is that I'm writing my own songs and I've always been the one writing my own songs and it doesn't matter like what kind of vibe I'm going for, it's still my essence. So it doesn't, it's like I can be, saying different things or like, because even the language in the album is it's very like relatable in terms of like, it's very slangish. So I think, but I'm still the one saying it, it's still my voice. So I think that that's like, it doesn't matter how far you go in terms of style. Like if you're true to your essence and true to whatever you're trying to say, I think it's never gonna look like out. Like it's not gonna look like it's not you.
Yeah, exactly. And with this album, you had a very, very specific mindset. You took us on a trip to your home country, to a place called
Yes.
Margarita. Um,
Yes.
can you tell me a little bit more about that? Why did you decide to take us here?
I was locked down, pandemic, the whole thing, and I was thinking while I was like locked in my apartment, in my room, and when I was in Mexico, and then when I came back to Miami, and I was thinking like, damn, I wish I was in Margarita, where like I used to spend a lot of my summers there with my cousins, with my friends, with a lot of people from Venezuela, and but most of those memories, the context of those memories are very like stuck to my childhood and to my early teenage years. So what I was thinking is like, if I go back, I'm not gonna have those moments, but what kind of moments would I have if I go right now as an adult? And I think that's what I was trying to like go for. And that's kind of the place that I was dreaming about when I was locked down. So when I started writing those songs, I was in that space. So I think that's why the album sounds so fresh, because I was at a place that it's very, very fresh.
So all these songs are brand new because I remember we talked when you released Mujer Electrica, and you told me that you had a few songs in there that were still like older songs, right? But now, so these are all completely new.
Most of these songs are new. I think Fondo del Mar and Jevita are the only songs that that come from before I knew that I was writing an album. But even then I was already trying to like, the process changed, and that's kind of the other reason why the album sounds so different, is because I used to write songs just with an acoustic guitar, just trying to like come up with lyrics. And now what I did is I started using Logic. I started using the softwares just to record music. So instead of just having a guitar to write a song, I made a beat. So I had a different song, but like since before I was playing just the guitar, it would like limit me physically to develop different melodies. So now, like, since I was hands free, just writing songs, I think it made it that different. It made the album more beat. It made it more fresh, because I was able to do melodies and say words in a different manner because I wasn't attached to the guitar.
And I love that thing about Fresh. I mean, it's kind of been a thing with Simon. Like, even your last EP was triste pero
Yeah,
fresh, but now it's just super fresh. There's nothing triste about this. There's a little bit of
yeah.
tristeza in here, but not
There's a
completely.
cou- there's a couple songs that come from that Triste Pero Fresh era. Even Fondo del Mar, I think I'm not sure if Fondo del Mar was a song that I wrote before releasing Triste Pero Fresh. I think I did, but I still like didn't know it was part of it, you know. And for this album, I was like, you know, if I'm gonna give myself one little ballad, it's gonna be this one.
Nice, nice. Can you tell me a little bit about this song? You know, before you tell me, I was listening to that Bahia Margarita playlist you made, and a lot of them sound like this song.
Yeah, it was. I've been listening to a lot of like techno. I just started DJing, so I've been listening to a lot of like techno and like upbeat kind of reggaeton too. And like I think this Daiquiri, Fuego Lento, and Vicio were produced by Manuel Lara. Manuel Lara is a Venezuelan producer who does kind of has this sound. But I was intrigued to see like how can this guy who does this type of music and he has his own very alternative project, how can he interpret my songs that come from this different, you know, background? But since like I was telling before, like I was building these songs from the computer, so I already had a beat. I already had like this style of writing that came with this album. So this song is like my approach, or like my I'm trying to do an urban song with alternative references, and that's kind of the sound what we're going for. And I think we got it pretty well.
I love it. I dance to it every time. I'm like playing it in the background, just like Ruben do my work, and my work goes by so fast when I'm listening to it.
I love the bass line, and when the like the kind of bells start getting in. I love that part.
Yeah, and it also sounds like a drink. Like, is daiquiri a drink, or where's that name
Like
from?
daiquiri is a drink. Yes, it's a drink. It's a very fruity drink. I think it's like a white rum with some slushies. You know,
That's super cool.
it's something you would drink on a tropical island.
Right, and at Margarita.
Yeah, margarita. Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit like what is like your favorite song out of the album? Not like sonically, but like what is one of the favorite ways that you created a song? I don't know if that's clear. Like what's the
I
one that
love. Yeah, I get your question. I think there's two songs. I love Modelos. I love the how it sounds. I love how I was able to like able to see the sound before I made it. I think my in this album, in terms of like the way that I'm better than the other albums, is that I was able to make a song sound very close to how it was sounding in my head. And Modelos has that, like, for example, that little guitar thing after that guitar riff after the chorus. It brings me so much joy. I don't know. It brings a smile to my face. And then Las Olas. I love Las Olas. I love the ending of Las Olas, and I love just how this song I went with my band and I rented a house in Fort Myers, and then we just brought our microphones, guitars, our speakers, and I just set up a little home studio in that house, and we were like right by the beach. We would go to the beach, come back, and just play the song, record the song, give out ideas, and this even I remember that ending where we have the vocal the vocoder just sounded very Daft Punky summer
yeah.
thing, and that song wasn't gonna end like that. We had like another chorus and that's it. And then one of the guys said like, "Yo, like this song is just I think it's missing an ending, and I don't think we've already played the chorus way too much. Let's do something different." And at that time, we were listening to a lot of Daft Punk, and this song by Casey Musgraves called "Oh What a Wonderful World," where "Oh What a World," I think, where it begins with that vocoder, and I was like, "Yo, let's do that." And I changed up the melody right quick, and then we put a bunch of layers of vocals and put a lot of effects, and it sounds magical. It sounds like you're just it's taking you to another world.
Is that where the you've been calling yourself the Coconis Papi? Is this
Coconis Papi, yes.
Coconis Papi? Is this where the DJ comes in from Simon?
Kind of, yeah. I think that's the identity, you know. That's what we're trying to do.
That's super cool, and I love that you're exploring these new sounds, and you're like evolving as an artist, and you're like, this is Simon Grossman, but this is Simon Grossman doing a folk song. This is Simon doing an electronic song. This is me doing a reggaeton song. It's just different facets of you.
I think it's me trying to not get bored. I think I'm running away from boredom when I'm doing music and when I'm doing new music. Is I love Agüita Coco, and it's a song that it's brought me a lot of things, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to rewrite that song, because I'm not the same person that I was when I did it, and the person the guy who wrote Agüita Coco cannot write Daiquiri or Las Olas. They're not the same person, so I think that it's all about evolution and just seeing it's about time and space, and the guy who wrote it with the Coco is not at the same time and space that the guy who wrote this song, or maybe the next song. And I think it's about like finding yourself in the right zeitgeist, so you can have like you can grasp that moment and truly have like a picture of that exact time frame where you were. And I think that's what music is all about, and that's what we artists do when we're trying to write music, is that we're trying to really just catch a moment with our bare hands and put it on a song.
Yeah, and I think you did it well in this new one. It's the evolution of Simon Grossman.
This most of this album, I was thinking that I wanted people. I was going to a lot of like I've opened for a lot of Rawayana shows and a couple of Los Amigos Invisibles shows, and I see that people go to the concerts and just they dance and they're like moving, and I was kind of jealous, I was like, I want people to move and dance at my concerts. So one of the main things that why my album is so upbeat is because I wanted people to just move around at my concerts, just have a little drink and just have fun.
Yeah, drink some daiquiris.
Yeah.
That's awesome. When I hear Amor Nuevo, whenever you come to LA and I'm here live, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna sing that first line.
I hope I'll go to LA probably next year. We'll play in LA.
Well, you have had so much success in these past couple years since Mujer Electrica, and you have like skyrocketed, honestly. And I feel you're due for like a world tour.
Damn, I
know
think
that's me. I was just overinflating stuff too.
No, that's an honor that you say that. I think that we're definitely planning a big tour. We're definitely planning a big tour, and we're gonna reach more cities, definitely. And I think it's gonna be the most logistically complex tour that I've done, because most of the tours that I've done is like I go have 1, 2, or 3 shows, and then I come back to Miami, and then I leave for another. And this is gonna be like we're gonna be away for a full month, just traveling, and that excites me, but at the same time it gets me pretty scared.
Yeah, you just don't know what's gonna come on, but that scared you put into your shows, and you're gonna make people dance even more. If you put that energy into it, and it's gonna be
hopefully.
I really want to see you live. Been wanting to see you live since Mujer Electrica, but now that you'd released this one, there's like more anticipation for it.
I'm very excited. I'm very happy that you say that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. So we're about to end the interview. Thank you for your time again. I do want to get into some personal questions. They're not super personal, but it's something to get to know you a little bit more. So
all right,
first question. What was an album when you were growing up that you could not stop listening to?
Probably Continuum by John Mayer.
Oh, John Mayer was your thing.
I love John Mayer. He's still like probably one of my favorite artists of all time. I don't listen to him as much as I used to, but every once in a while I go back to his discography and I'm like, damn, this guy's good.
It's one of those things. Yeah, like I always listen back to Sublime. Like I won't listen to Sublime for like months on months, a year maybe, and then I'll listen to it. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's funny because like they surprised you so much when you were growing up that now they're like, you listen to them and they remind you of that time, and they also like you find new things. It's pretty cool.
Exactly. What was the first concert you ever went to?
It was funny enough. It was John Mayer.
There we
2010.
Go. That's awesome.
I did it when I was a kid. In Venezuela. I was kind of shy and I didn't like going to big places. So I never went to a concert when I lived in Venezuela. But when I moved to the US, when I was like 13, 14, my friend was here that summer. He was from Venezuela, who's actually my bandmate now, and one of the guys who produced Las Olas, Hobie. And he told me, yo, John Mayer's playing West Palm Beach. And we just took a train and went to West Palm Beach. I remember, Venezuela is Caracas was a very dangerous city, and
Mm.
it's still not as dangerous, but it was a very dangerous city when I left. So I remember I was in Miami. I ran out of battery on my phone. It was like 1 in the morning in West Palm Beach, and my mom was super nervous. I remember she called my friend and she Facebook inboxed him. It was pretty crazy. Then the next day it was just a funny joke. One of the guys that was with us, his dad drove us back to Miami. And it was pretty chill. I just didn't have a way to communicate with my mom.
What an adventure, just for your first
Yeah,
concert.
yeah.
That's super cool. What was one of the first jobs you ever held?
I worked at a summer camp. I
So
worked
that's
at a
where,
summer
yeah,
camp,
I
and
remember we talked about this. That's where your career started, basically.
yeah, I worked at a summer camp. Actually went back to the summer camp last summer. Everything was closed out and no tours. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to spend a couple of weeks at that summer camp, and it was amazing. Honestly, it's still like a very special place to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's where people, you were telling me people first heard your music, and people that you didn't even know were hearing your music.
Yeah, it
Um,
was amazing.
when you visited, did you play your old campfire songs, like playing some
Yeah, I did,
Wonderwall on your guitar?
and it was cool because now, like, obviously now I'm this guy who's an artist, and
Yeah.
I started out as a counselor, and now like the kids would look at me like they would see me with like a guitar in my hand, and everybody would just look around. It's like, all right, this guy's gonna play, and it was cool because before when I had the guitar, I would kind of like force people to listen to me, and now if I even had a guitar in my hand, people would just be quiet and look at me and wait for me to play something. So it was pretty nice.
You don't have to play Wonderwall anymore. You just have a collection of
Yeah,
songs now.
that's true. That's true.
That's funny. Now, what is one of your favorite foods of all time?
Damn, there's a lot of them, but I really like arepas, obviously, but I don't want to say arepas because it's very common. I really like probably like a good pasta carbonara. I think that's very good. That's something that I want to eat right now, actually.
You got to take a tour to Italy, man.
Oh, that would be amazing. I went to Italy with my I have a cousin that lives there, and I went there for her wedding, and it was this little Italian town. It was like an hour away from Rome, and I ate like homemade pasta from the town, and it was amazing.
Oh yeah, I've been to Italy before. It's like hands down the best thing ever.
Yeah, the food there is amazing.
One last question. Can you tell me something interesting or something that you love about your home country or your home city?
I love how I just for obviously I love Margarita, but I just love how it's very wild, like I've spent time in Latin America. I've been to Colombia, I've been to Mexico, I've been to Guatemala, and I just love how those places remind me of Caracas. I haven't been to Caracas in like 7 years, so it's been a really long time. But what I remember, I just love how wild and how like fast and how everything's kind of like built upon on ruins. I just kind of love that wildness. I just wish that that wildness wasn't attached to like bad things. But I just really like how it's a city that when you look at it, you realize how much potential it had at one point in our
Whoa, it seems like Simon just disconnected. Well, he texted me saying that his Wi-Fi completely just shut down on him. He was telling me before the interview, before we recorded, that Miami was in a rainy season right now. So that might be one of the main problems there. But thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the interview I had right now with Simon Grossman. You got to know him a little bit more behind his brand new album, Bahia Margarita, which is available everywhere now. Depending on where you're watching this video, please make sure you're also following us and subscribing to our YouTube and Instagram here at Latin Alt Radio. Thank you so much. My name is Byron Gonzalez. You can catch me on Latin Alt every day, 9 a.m. through 1 p.m. at latinalt.org. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you check out Bahia Margarita from Simon Grossman.